not right now. So this is the moment that we've been waiting for. It's a simple build, yet there's some very specifics to make it workable and reliable, survivable, and powerful. Okay, so starting off with the Gates of Sithis from Blackwood chapter and getting the antiquities will be vital to have this set, and for survival this is one of the best pieces to come out from the antiquities. As you can see, I have it on with prismatic armor. It gives you maximum magicka, maximum health, and maximum stamina. The build's going to have 5 pieces divines, 2 pieces infused. The chest is infused as well as its legs. The shoulder is slime crawl for that critical chance on divines. And as you can see now, you could farm Permafrost whether you want to do a Ved or you want to do a normal. Permafrost is a big key part of this build. Why? Well, you would think, why is a heavy set and you lose some of the passives from light? However, I'm trying to go for survival on this one, so people that are beginners can use this and probably not die right away when they go to PvP line. Even mid, level guys. If you're more high level and have played PvP, this is gonna be a super tanker and be able to deliver the goods when it comes to damage. So you can see it gives you maximum health, and then it gives you maximum magicka and magicka recovery. And before we get to the 5th piece, you remember Rattle Cage. For those of you who were playing the game long enough, Rattle Cage was a go-to for many magicka players because it was tanky and it gave you that extra spell damage. It's sort of not different in this one. However, Rattle Cage doesn't perform as good as it used to back in the day. Now, the 5th piece bonus, while you have a damage shield on you, your health recovery is increased by 1,106. That is huge, and you'll see why when I start explaining the abilities on the build. Again, on these 2 pieces, I just got the Max Magicka enchant for extra magicka. For these other pieces, I have Prismatic, which is a Hakejo. For those of you who may be new, you can go to Imperial City, and with Telver Stones, you can go to Immersion in your base, and you can purchase a Hakejo. If you did this event, sometimes you will get a surprise Hakejo in your coffer boxes, or whatever you call them. When you complete some events, you get those coffers and may drop some Hakejo in there. So this is where you will apply it into enchanting table, and you will create the one that's for prismatic armor. Okay. Next is one that's overland. It's easy to get. Is spinners. The spinner again gives you max magicka, spell damage, and very important, spell penetration. I've gone here and I've transmuted from arcane to infuse so I can get that extra spell damage on the build, and left this one with recovery because we're definitely going to need it, and we'll show you how we could increase that magicka recovery in a moment. We are using escapist poison on the front bar and a drain health poison on the back bar, and when not using the escapist poison, I have it infused with increased weapon enchantment, which is increasing your weapon enchantment by 30% and reducing the enchantment cooldown by 50%. So if I remove it real quick, it has shock damage. Now some people may argue, you could do precise, and that will give you some extra weapon and spell damage, and that's fine. Some people also use sharpen for extra penetration. I'm right now just keeping it here. This is what I got it with, so I'm gonna keep it like that, and it works for me. Back bar, I change it to defending to give me some extra tankiness. And removing this if you don't need the poisons. I have the life drain enchantment, deals 2090 magic damage while restoring your health. So very key component if you want to keep yourself healthy. Now let's put back the poisons and explain to you why we're doing this for this build. I think it's this one here. 2.1 versus 1.6 seconds. Yep. It's for poison. So if you have the ability to craft most traits in alchemy, this is important so you can mobilize your target in front of you as you're attacking them, and it also makes you unstoppable, rendering you immune to control effects for 1.6 seconds. 1.6 seconds seems small, but in PvP land, that's a world of difference. The poison will also break you free and ongoing control effects. Very good. So basically you get snare, whatever, hit them with a lot of attack, heavy attack, whatever it is, and you'll be able to exit immediately. Then also it drains health from your target, dealing 1,519 poison damage to your target and restoring 1,291 health to you per second for 1.6 seconds. So now it's not just making you unstoppable, you're causing them damage and you're healing, from that as well. It drains magicka from your target, increasing the cost of their magicka ability by 10%. And restores 238 magicka to you per second for 2.3 seconds. Super good to have a key component of this PvP build. Then on the back part, I have the drain health poison. So this one similar to what we had. We discussed that already on the first part. The second part as well, but now the third option, it drains stamina from your target, increasing the cost of their stamina abilities by 10%. So now you got both, you got magicka players in PvP and stamina. So it's nice to have it on both bars, so that way, no matter which bar you're on, you're gonna cause them to have these effects applied on them. Okay. One thing that I recommend for anyone out there, I'm doing the one that's for magicka, of course. There is one that's for stamina. So you become immune to knockbacks and disabling effects for 10.4 seconds. So that's awesome. Not only do I have the escapist potion on the front bar, but I have this, when you have many people going after you. And 10.4 seconds, believe me, that's going to save your life, be able to escape, regroup, and, hopefully put some pressure in return. You're going to restore 8,536 health immediately. It also grants you major fortitude, which increases your health recovery by 30% for 47.6 seconds. I'll show you here in a moment when I buff the build, and you'll see exactly where you're at when you're playing buff. You restore magicka at 7,582 immediately, granting you major intellect, and increases your magicka recovery by 30% for 47.6 seconds. Now, I have a mix of this one and also the Alliance Spell Drought. This is something to save you materials when you're doing alchemy potion. Once you start doing PvP, whether it's Battleground, Cyrodiil, or even Imperial City, you could get AP points, which is this thing right here, Alliance points. Okay, and with that, you could purchase these potions at the Battleground merchant, and basically it does the same thing. Everything that you see there restores magicka immediately, magicka recovery by 30% for 47.3 seconds, and you also gain major prophecy and major sorcery, increasing spell damage by 20%, spell critical by 2,629. All of that is basically similar to your spell power pots. However, the duration, instead of 47.3 seconds, the ones that you craft will be 47.6 seconds. So it's 0.3 longer than this one. However, I would use those potions if you're doing PvE like trials or maybe in 4-man dungeon. For the purpose of PvP, this is a good way to go. It's cheaper and it does basically almost the same thing. So I'll be using this and sometimes swapping to the Essence of Immobility to help me survive basically. Okay, so these are the stats here on buffs. Right now I'm just going to show you real quick where spell resistance are on the back bar are 25,000 on buff, 22,000 on the front bar. Okay, so let me just kind of do this real quick. So now spell resistance on the back bar is at 31,000, 31k, and the front bar is at 28k. Okay. Now we'll do the escapist potion here, and not the escapist, the Essence of Immobility. Let's do that real quick. Pop that on. So now my health recovery goes up to 3,386. My magic recovery at 1,347, which is excellent. Okay, now if I do my shield, watch this. My health recovery now is 5,310. Now that is sick. That is amazing. This is what you want for survival. So you pop that potion in, you hit your shield, which is now what you're getting from that 5th piece bonus from Permafrost, and your health recovery is over 5,000. Now if you're doing what you're supposed to do, you should be able to survive in most instances and try to escape either with Streak or Boundless Storm combination. So let's look at the abilities. So we're using right now Streak. I use Streak as an offensive tool. Some people use it as a defensive in the back bar, but I like to use it as a offensive tool. We got Crystal Frags. Everyone knows what Crystal Frags does. Mage's Wrath, Hunting Curse, and Crushing Shock, which is our spammable. For the ulti, we're going to swap between the Greatest Storm Atronach to Ice Comet to Dawnbreaker. Okay. On the back, we have Didrik Minefield. This is an amazing survival and extra damage tool, which I recommend to anyone that has a Magic Sorc. It's going to save you in many instances from crappy moments for people that are melee. Even in range, they may come to you and not realize that these are down, and it will explode each mine. I have 5 mines on the floor that will deal close to 10,000, or once it's buff, it's over 10,000 damage each. So very good, and it will also snare them. It will immobilize them for at least 2 seconds in there. Okay, I'm doing Healing Ward because with this set, it being heavy, I cannot use Dampen Magicka, so I'm going to use Healing Ward. And this baby right here, it's almost 15k damage shield, which is based off our health. And the reason I'm doing Harden is because of that cap at 60% versus 50% for power. I'm going to use that conversion for moments that we need to increase our recovery, whether it's health or Magicka recovery. And again, Boundless Storm, which increases our physical and spell resistance quite a bit for 23 seconds, but it also causes almost 1,000, and likely when it's buff, over 1,000k damage each second. So having that uptime all the time is key to survival and to killing your enemy. If you see right there at the bottom, when you activate it, the movement speed is increased by 30% for 4 seconds. So you could get away from your foe quickly when you're activating, and then switcheroo and do some sneaky and survive for another day, or you can get killed and revive. Um, our our backbar ulti is, I got Life Champion. There's also the Life Giver option, which I like very much because it gives you 3 parts of the rest of staff when you hit it. Not only does it heal you for what you're seeing right here, about 10,000 health every second, but also it will grant you the grand healing. It will grant you regeneration, and I believe it also does a healing ward all together when you hit that ulti, if it's a life giver. But right now I'm using Life Champion, and one part is I'm going with groups many times, so it's gonna heal me, it's gonna heal them, but it also grants them for 8 seconds major force, so it's gonna increase their critical damage by 20%, and that's gonna be excellent to buffing my teammates and making sure that we're winning. If I'm not rocking this one, I will definitely go with the Sijic skill line ulti on Temporal Guard. And why? When you have this slotted automatically, you gain minor protection, reducing your damage taken by 5%, making you extra tanky. So you're already very tanky with this build. Now you're going to be extra tanky by putting that in on your ulti slot. Okay. So I mentioned earlier the Atro is what I'm going to go with. However, I like my Ice Comet when I have my buff that's closer to 20k tooltip, and then it stuns also your enemies. It knocks them down and it stuns them for 2 seconds, reducing the movement speed by 50% for 5 seconds. And after the impact, anyone that's basically in the target area is getting damage 5,000. It's probably more closer to 6,000 damage every 1 second for 13 seconds. So this is my go-to. Using the Atro for kind of like the similar effect, but then you might have that one individual that's maybe a little extra tanky and he's going to stay away from the AoE from an Ice Comet, but there's no AoE on your Atro. And Atro is like a god when you're in battlegrounds, so just put him down there and drop your Diedrich mines around him, and the enemies either will flee or they're still going to try to kill you, and likely they'll die in the process too. So very strong to have your Greatest Storm Atro. Now you could also get the other ulti morph. They're both viable. The other one has AoE. It's very strong. Okay. And you were wondering earlier, I mentioned Dawnbreaker. Well, believe it or not, Dawnbreaker of Smiting for Sorc, very strong. This is on buff. Arm yourself with Meridia's Sacred Sword and dispense her retribution, dealing 14,541 physical damage to your enemies. It's likely, when it's buff, over 15,000k, maybe closer to 16,000k. And it's an additional 17,000, likely more like 19,000k physical damage over 6 seconds, stunning them for 2 seconds. It's an overall great ulti. It's only 106 ultimates, so you could have up times very quickly with this and likely save your life as well, while maybe annihilating your opponent if you're doing proper burst. So anyone that's new to PvP or Magic of Sorc, hopefully this build is going to help you with survivability, with something fun, different, perhaps exciting. As far as how you want to proceed with abilities, I would say, while you're taking your potions and setting yourself up to be as buff as possible, make sure you have your Boundless Storms up, drop your Diedrich Mines, and now if the enemy's in front of you and you're trying to create burst, you want to drop your Hunting Curse, and this is your spammable, so you're gonna lot attack and then hit Crushing Shock in light weaving. The moment that you see Crystal Frax crit, You definitely want to see if you could try them, but before you do that, what you might want to do is streak to stun them, then hit Crystal Frags and Mage's Wrath. And if everything's put up together, it is possible that you get a kill. Okay. Another way to do this is drop Hunting Curse, Crushing Shock, drop your Ice Comet, streak. Comet will likely kill, but you want to finish them up with Mage's Shroud when their health drops on their 20. Okay, so very quick combos. First, about survivability, you want to do Dark Conversion, which is this thing. It's like you're saying hi to everybody. Hello, hello, hello. There we go. Healing Ward will be the globe right here, which nobody has for some reason. Where is it? Ah, there it is. Interesting. So she's got the Healing Ward. But when you're low in health, it goes to you instead. So now it helps your team, but it helps yourself too whenever you're low health. And then Harden Ward to increase your health recovery and to save your butt from incoming. So let's test it out. I'm gonna go to Arden here. It's close to the battleground dude near the way shrine. So I like that in particular. I didn't go over the passives. If you're a Sorc, get all the passives. Everything in your class, get them all. Everything under light armor, heavy armor, medium armor, get all the passives. Everything under destruction staff, get all the passives. Same with resto, get all the passives. Get those skill points, get some sky shards, get some public dungeons, group events, do the main quest, whatever it needs to get those skill points, and just put them all on. It's gonna be for the best. Alright, so this is the guy that you go. It's called the Battleground Supplies Merchant. He will supply you with the Alliance Spell Drought that I mentioned earlier. You can buy it with Alliance Point, only 720. Very inexpensive. For less than 70,000 Alliance points, you can get like over 100 of these. So I would suggest highly for anyone to do this. Same thing for our stamina friends. You're gonna get this right here. Tankadoodles, maybe you may have something better than this out there, but for this build, that's where you want to go. Okay, and don't forget, this is where you grab your Battle Master Revan, and he'll give you your nice quest. And right now I have Let the Games Begin, playing 5 battlegrounds. Well, if anyone was available here right now, they could join me if you want to, if you're in the NA. Let's make sure that we have proper food. I did not even mention that here. I apologize. So the food that I'm doing right now is the Bewitched Sugar Skulls. This is something that you want to have specifically because it gives you that extra health recovery at 393. Now, as you'll see, the stats will drop down in Battlegrounds, but it's still gonna be very tanky. You're still gonna have most of these high stats that I mentioned here. It's gonna be super good. Let me make sure that I have my food. I'm gonna take another one just to be on the safe side. Oh, consume 2 foods. Look, I completed my endeavors. That's that was unexpected. That's nice. See, just playing the game, guys, and do whatever. Before you know it, you get your endeavors done. So that's great. All right, everything's here. 21 here. That should be fine for now. Got enough potions. We'll do this later. This is gonna get full of stuff, so let's clear that up real quick. Very nice. Very, very nice. All right, let's cue this up. Queuing solo is probably not the safest thing to do now in battlegrounds. Nowadays, you have pre-mates. A lot of people coming in with the with their healer, and maybe even 2 healers. And I may end up with a team that doesn't have any heals, but that's okay. Most of my friends play at night. They're not in the morning, so I cannot group up with them. But we had a good show in the last couple of nights. Very fun. Many wins, some losses. It all comes with a package. Let's see, need to find more blue gloss. Bug gloss or bug gloss. Don't have any Cyrodiil stuff. By the way, I know that sometimes people are really loyal to the faction, which is fine. I respect that. And that's how you play the game, and enjoy being with buddies that are like mine, whether it's Aldemary Dominion for AD, Daggerfall Covenant for DC, and Ebonheart Pie for EP. That's, you know, that's completely fine. That's part of the game. Me personally, when I started playing the game, a little bit right after beta, it was 2015. All I enjoyed was the fact that we had this big open world, and it tailored to my style of play with MMORPGs, the lore, the magical world, you know, the fights, like medieval style, all of that. It appealed to me, but I really didn't pay attention to, you know, Alliance. In fact, when I first started this tune, and I'm gonna be showing you this, I wanted to be a magical warrior. So I had no idea what stamp sorcs were at the time. So I went ahead and picked a magic sorc with stamina abilities. I'll show you when we get into this Battlegrounds Deathmatch. And I have my two-hander level to 36. Look at this. I'm not kidding. I haven't leveled anything else in weapon except for Destro and Resto. But my two-hander is at 36. I was about to be CP with 36 two-hander, and I had trouble beating, you know, regular Dell bosses. I mean, I had no idea what armor sets were. I had different armor pieces on. I had the instead of the volatile, I had the clan fear, and it was just a mess. And then I saw a few videos, and then I realized, wow, what am I doing? So I understood that for Magicka you have to have different builds and things on you. But now we'll leave that for later. Right now it's only 3 of us in a team that could potentially wipe us out. Keep Magic Queen down. She was top in last game. I heal. Okay. Yeah, that's okay. We'll see what we can do here. We can go on top. Let's go on top. Follow me on top, guys. Come on, team. Don't be afraid. Here too. Let me just pop this one in just in case. 1, 2, 3. Going in. Really? Ah, he dropped. Why? Swap. I'm stunned. Alright, they got a lot of heals here. Let's get some Magicka back, because I got Reach. Dropping my mines here for survival. And dropping Big Boy. There you go. We got him running. Alright. So nobody died, well, at least that I know of, nobody died there. Oh, they're dropping down. See, this is where we need to go in team. But that's okay. Let's see. Another one off the books. Read the book. Alright, here we go. Dropping Diedrich mines. I need to get buff here in a moment. That's my kill. Ah, that sucks. I'm alone here. 4. My team is not here. Was my team dead? I don't know, guys. And we're in the middle. We need to go to higher ground. Pop my ulti here for survival. Got to. Kite. Wow. Some people really have it for me now, huh? Wow. I gotta go back to my team here. They really have it for me. Where's my team? Okay, here we go. So maybe they were dead. I didn't realize. That's my kill. Ah, enemy stole. Enemy stealing, man. I agree. Where are they? We have him run it. Yeah, let's go on top. Alright. Ah, stun. I need Regent. Buff this here. Do we have him run? Wait, I think we're winning. Yeah. Ah, they killed him. Swap bars. Is that our team? Wow, GG. Look at that. You guys. No one died. Now, chat. This was a good show. Swiss the Blade, obviously he was swissing away. 2 mil. 1.6 million heals. Very nice. This is what happens with premates. We just came here solo, but with us, they probably thought we were awesome. They probably thought that we were premate, but we just queued in solo here. But when you do have a healer doing their job, that's what happens. And see if anyone else on the other teams had a healer. Had a little bit of heals here, but nothing major, 700 damage and so on. This team was the toughest. They had a couple of good healers actually, and you know, some decent damage there. And then with this great heals, we had 1.2 mil damage on this person with some heals, no death. Almost a mil on damage on my build, no death. And then 2 million on this guy running. But if you notice though, I was quite solo many times in the middle, and I didn't even come close to dying. Very strong on the build. Very good show for the first one. I wasn't expecting to have 0 deaths on everyone here, though. So that was surprising. But yeah, good show.